Hello, dear students, and good evening to everyone. As we have started the sixth chapter of history yesterday, and I have provided you the first part of that chapter, today I am going to provide you the second part of this history chapter 6, that is colonialism and changes in urban pattern. So, students, in the previous chapter, we have learned about that how Britishers changes Indian towns and how the old towns of India declined or lost its importance, and many new towns came into feature. Okay, and we have also seen that what were the features of the new towns that came into existence during the colonial period. Okay, as I have told you that in this part I will explain you about Delhi. Okay, we are going to learn about Delhi in thorough, or we will learn about it thoroughly. Okay, so let's see. Firstly, Delhi history. All of you are knowing that, and from the childhood only, you all are listening that what is the capital of India? That is New Delhi. Okay, so have you ever think about the history of Delhi? In this part, we will learn about Delhi, that who founded Delhi, or how Delhi named as Delhi. Okay, and what was the previous names of Delhi, and all these we are going to learn about. Okay, so let's start with the, as you are knowing that New Delhi is the capital of India. This is the location of Delhi on the map of India. Okay, now here we are going to learn about ancient Delhi. That means during the ancient period, where we learned about the place that is known as Delhi today. Okay, so Delhi has a very long history. As we can say that the city of Delhi has been seen the rise and fall of many empires. From in the medieval period, we have almost learned about this that many rulers have Delhi as their capital. Now it has a very long history. Okay, it was an important political center of India as the capital of several empires. Why it was basically, or why it was chosen as capital by different rulers of Indian subcontinent, because as you can see in the map of India, Delhi is in the middle, or we can say that it has a very strategic location. Strategic means it is connected to every place from there. Okay, so that is why many rulers attracted towards Delhi to make it their capital. Okay, its strategic location has attracted many rulers, and no wonder it occupies the distinction of being a city which has been continuously occupied for over 1,000 years. Delhi was occupied by the rulers for approximately thousand of years. The Indian rulers, or the rulers those who ruled Indian subcontinent, ruled nearby or in the surrounding areas or in Delhi. Okay, if we will talk about the history of Delhi, if you will say that yes, when where is the evidence, okay, of this city Delhi? So students, all of you are knowing about the epic Mahabharat. Okay, so it is before 3,000 years ago, that when we were learning about the ancient period. So in the ancient period, in Mahabharat, the place Indraprasth is discussed. Okay, all of you are knowing about Pandavas and Kauravas of Mahabharat. Okay, so the capital of Pandav rulers was Indraprasth. Indraprasth. Okay, if I will say you that according to Mahabharat, a city of Indraprasth. Now, what is the meaning of the word Indraprasth? Indra, okay, Indraprasth. That means city of God Indra. Okay, Indra Devta hai na. So city of God Indra was the capital of the Pandavas. Okay, that was the capital of Pandavas, and it is believed that, okay, that today's Purana Killa, Lal Killa, Pithora was there. There is a place where Prithviraj Chauhan ruled in Delhi. So it is believed that that area in Delhi was that Indraprasth only. Okay, so it is believed that the where is Delhi situated today, that area belongs to Indraprasth only. So the earlier evidence of Delhi was, we get it from Mahabharat. Okay, now let's see the next one. Medieval Delhi. If we will talk about the medieval Delhi, so first the question arises that who founded Delhi? Who named Delhi as Delhi? So the answer will be Anangpal Tomar. Okay, Anangpal Tomar was the ruler of the Tomar dynasty, and he only founded Delhi. Basically, he is only considered as the founder of Delhi because he built a citadel there. Okay, he built a 10 kilometer of citadel at that place. Now you will ask, ma'am, what is citadel? So when we were learning about Harappan civilization, in that we learned about this now, that the city was divided into two parts. The one is citadel and the other is lower town. So citadel means upper town where the rulers or kings were living. So that only Anangpal Tomar built a citadel there at where is Delhi today. So it is believed that Anangpal Tomar of the Tomar dynasty founded Delhi. After Anangpal Tomar, the kingdom or the dynasty that ruled Delhi was the Chauhan dynasty. All of you are very well aware about Prithvi Raj Chauhan. Okay, so after this, the Delhi seen the dominion. Dominions means the superiority or the power of Prithvi Raj Chauhan. Okay, so in 12th century, Prithvi Raj Chauhan, the ruler of Chauhan dynasty, ruled Delhi. Now, later on, as we have learned about the slave dynasty, okay, in the medieval period, we have learned about the slave dynasty. If I'll ask you that who was the founder of the slave dynasty, so you will see that Kutubuddin Aibak. All of you are very well about Kutubuddin Aibak. Kutubuddin Aibak was the first, or we can say that the first ruler of the slave dynasty or Mamluk dynasty of Delhi Sultanate. Okay, after Kutubuddin Aibak, if I'll ask you who is the real founder of, so you will say Iltutmish. Okay, so this is only that if we will talk about the rulers of Delhi Sultanate, so approximately all the rulers of Delhi Sultanate ruled over Delhi for a very long period of time. Okay, Kutubuddin Aibak, Iltutmish, Tughlaq dynasty, Sayyid dynasty, Lodi dynasty, all the rulers ruled Delhi for a very long time. Okay, so from there only Delhi became the capital of the very powerful rulers. Delhi became the major center of the five major dynasties of medieval period and hence known as Delhi Sultanate. That is why that dynasty was known as Delhi Sultanate, because it ruled over Delhi. Okay. Now, as you can see in this picture, the first dynasty was slave dynasty that ruled from 1206 to 1290. If we will talk about the first dynasty that ruled Delhi was slave dynasty. Now, if we will talk about the next, it is Khalji dynasty. Okay, that ruled from 1290 only for 30 years. Next was Tughlaq dynasty, the longest reigning period of तुगलक रूलर्स इन दिल्ली 94 ईयर्स तक इन्होंने रूल किया था. नेक्स्ट इज सैयद डायनेस्टी. ओके, एंड द लास्ट इज लोधी डायनेस्टी. एज ऑल ऑफ यू आर नोइंग दैट the last ruler of Lodi, okay, was defeated by Babur. Okay, and after that only the Mughal Empire was established in India. Now, if we will talk about the Mughal Empire, okay, so Babur, Humayun and Akbar. All these three rulers basically do not much focus on Delhi. They use or they basically focus on Agra, Fatehpur Sikri and all these places. But the ruler of Mughal Empire, that is Shah Jahan. Okay, Shah Jahan was the grandson of Akbar. Shah Jahan, who built Taj Mahal, basically focused on the structure of Delhi. And when we were learning about these rulers now, about the Mughal rulers or the Delhi Sultanate rulers, so we will come to know about that 8 cities of Delhi. In class 7th, you have learned about this. Okay, there were some cities we have learned. I remember, maybe you all are also remembering it. Kila Rai Pithora, as I have explained to you about Kila Rai Pithora. Kila Rai Pithora was a city of Prithvi Raj Chauhan. Okay, was a town of Prithvi Raj Chauhan. Mehrauli, all of you are knowing that Mehrauli is famous for Qutub Minar, and that is why Mehrauli was founded by Kutubuddin Aibak. If I'll talk you about the place Siri, okay, it was built by Alauddin Khilji. Siri, you will come to know about from this thing that Alauddin Khilji took lots of measures for the welfare activities or for the welfare of the people of his kingdom, and for that purpose only he made or he built a tank. Okay, and he named that tank as Siri, or wherever that tank is, that place is only known as Siri. Now, if I will talk you about Tughalkabad, when we were learning about Delhi Sultanate now, at that time only we have learned about all these towns. So, Tughalkabad was established by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, okay, and it was known as Tughalkabad. So, these are the four cities of Delhi. Now, the next by Firoz Shah Tughlaq, it was Firozabad, okay. By Sher Shah, all of you are knowing Sher Shah Purana Killa, all of you are knowing this also. that Humayun died from the Purana Killa only, library of Purana Killa. Okay, so that is Purana Killa was built by Sher Shah, and Shah Jahan built Shah Jahanabad. Okay, just Shah Jahanabad was built. Shah Jahanabad was built by Shah Jahanabad. It is basically okay. Shah Jahanabad was built by Shah Jahan, and New Delhi was built by British ruler, that is George V. Okay, so in this chapter we are basically going to learn about Shah Jahanabad and Shah Jahan, because up to Sher Shah or up to Purana Killa we have already learned in the medieval period. So I hope all of you are able to understood this, that we are going to learn about Shah Jahanabad and New Delhi. Okay, the old Delhi and the New Delhi we will learn in this chapter. So let's start with Shah Jahanabad. If I'll talk you about the Shah Jahanabad students, the Shah Jahanabad was built by Shah Jahan. As all of you are knowing that Shah Jahanabad was built by Shah Jahan, that Shah Jahan only that built Taj Mahal and all that places in Agra. Now let's see, this is the place, or this is the map of Shah Jahanabad. As you can see this, yesterday also I have explained you about this place. This is Yamuna River, and Shah Jahanabad was established at the bank of Yamuna River. Okay, this is only the walled city that was surrounded by walls all around, and it is only having the gates. So we are going to learn about the feature of Shah Jahanabad. Okay, so let's see. Shah Jahanabad. In 1639, the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan built a city which was named as Shah Jahanabad. Okay. Now, if the question arises that who built the city of Shah Jahanabad, so you will say Shah Jahan. And if I will ask you that in which year Shah Jahanabad was built, then your answer will be 1639. Okay. So basically, this city was built during the Mughal period. Now, the city has wall running all around the city, as I have explained you yesterday also, that earlier rulers used to surround their city or town areas with high walls to protect it from the enemies. Okay, so like that only Shah Jahanabad was a protected city by large walls all around. That city was having 14 gates for entry into the city. For entry and exit, it has 14 gates, and you can see the name of those gates, such as Ajmeri Gate, Kashmiri Gate, Lahori Gate, etc. Today also in Delhi, all these names exist. Okay. Today also at the railway station of Delhi, it is known as, we have to go to the Kashmiri Gate or the Ajmeri Gate. Okay. So like this only, there were 14 gates. I have only given you 3 names. Okay. Now he built the Jama Masjid and the famous bazaar of Chandni Chowk. In that Shah Jahanabad, Shah Jahan built Jama Masjid. All of you are knowing that Jama Masjid is the world largest mosque in India. Okay, world largest is the largest mosque in India. Okay, so it is Jama Masjid, and the famous bazaar, that is Chandni Chowk. Chandni Chowk is very famous in Delhi. Okay, it is a purpose for selling and buying of goods. Today also Chandni Chowk is existing there. Okay, now the Lal Killa or Red Fort was also made by Shah Jahan. Okay, and it was made up of red stone. About Lal Killa we have already learned in class 7th. We have learned now that Lal Killa has Diwane Am and Diwane Khas. Diwane Am was the for the ruler, and Diwane Am was for the local people or for the people of the kingdom, and Diwane Khas was for the ruler. We have also learned about Peacock Throne, where Shah Jahan used to sit. So basically, Red Fort was a palace-like structure where the rulers of the Mughal dynasty lives. So Shah Jahan contained the palace complex where rulers lived. Okay, so Red Fort was built by, who built Red Fort? Shah Jahan. Okay, which we can say that it is made up of red sandstone. And what is it exactly? It was a living place, or it was a palace complex of where the rulers used to live. Okay, now let's see more about Shah Jahanabad. There was excellent system of water supply and drainage. Shah Jahanabad was having a very good drainage system, as well as for the purpose of the supply of water, Shah Jahan built Baulis. While I was explaining you about GK, I explained you about Baulis also. So Baulis were basically the step-like walls. We have to go down that step-like walls are there. Steps are there. Okay, so it is a step-like well. Okay, Bauli it was known as, that is only for the supply of water to every places in the kingdom. Okay, as you can see, This is Maharaja Agrasen ki Baoli. Okay, it is one of the oldest Baoli of Delhi. It was built during the reign of Shah Jahan. It is Baoli, and as you can see that this is the water in the Baoli. Okay, so Baoli was basically built for the supply of water throughout the kingdom. In many movies, basically in the horror movies, you have seen Baolis. Baolis is famous for as haunted places only nowadays. Okay, it is, these are the tourist places also, but many of forts or these Baolis are now considered as haunted places also. Okay, now let's see the next one, colonial Delhi. We have learned about Shah Jahanabad. Shah Jahanabad was built by Shah Jahan, okay, in 1639. It was famous for Chandni Chowk and all that areas, okay, good water supply, drainage system, broad roads were there, okay. Now we will learn about the colonial Delhi, okay. Colonial Delhi, when the Britishers were living in Delhi, or where they were living in Delhi, that we will learn. British basically conquered Shah Jahanabad in 1803. Okay, Shah Jahan built Shah Jahanabad in 1639, and British conquered it in 1803. They lived in the walled city alongside the wealthier Indians till 1857. That means the Indians, those who were in the favor of the Britishers, they only allowed them to live in Delhi, and the Britishers lived with those rich Indians only in Delhi in the walled city. The emperor granted, the ruler of India granted Dara Shikoh's library. Okay, there was one library named as Dara Shikoh Library near Kashmiri Gate. So the ruler of India gave it to Britishers. Okay, that library was given to the Britishers where the British residents came up, where the Britishers used to live. So Dara Shikoh Library was given to the Britishers so that they can live in that library. As you can see in the picture, this is the Dara Shikoh Library where the Britishers used to live till 1857. Now, we will see later Delhi after the revolt of 1857. As we have learned about the revolt of 1857 in the previous chapter, and we have learned about this thing also, that at that time when the revolt of 1857 took place, Bahadur Shah Zafar was ruling over Delhi. He was the ruler of Delhi, and how Delhi became the center after Meerut. The revolutionaries went to Delhi only. They request Bahadur Shah Zafar to become the leader of the revolt of 1857. All this we have seen in the previous chapter, and we have also seen that how we were not able, or how we were suppressed, or the Indians were suppressed by the Britishers in the revolt of 1857. We have also seen that how Britishers seized Delhi, and they just sent Bahadur Shah Zafar or second to Rangoon and exile him. Okay, so that only we will see. As Bahadur Shah Zafar was exiled to Rangoon, he was sent to Rangoon. Now what happened to Delhi when Bahadur Shah Zafar was exiled? First of all, his court was dismantled or broke down. The Britishers just broke or ruined the court of the palace of Bahadur Shah Zafar. Next, several of his palaces were ruined by the Britishers. Britishers just broke or ruined the several palaces of the Bahadur Shah Zafar. They cleared the area around Red Fort. Not only this much, they cleared the places around the Red Fort also, and they made Red Fort as the barracks of their army troops. That means after the exile of Bahadur Shah Zafar, the Britishers utilized Red Fort for keeping their army men. Okay, they used to keep their army men or the barracks in the barracks. Okay, in the Red Fort, their army troops started living in 1870s. Now what happened after in 1870? The western walls of Shah Jahanabad were broken to establish railway line. Okay, so as it was a walled city, so the west side wall of Shah Jahanabad was broken, was okay, for establishing railway line there. Because they have to spread or they have to construct the railway track. That is why that western wall was broken by the Britishers. The city expands beyond that wall. Okay, since wall, whatever the city was existing, it was under in the boundary of the walls only. Okay, Now Britishers started broken that wall also, so that they can expand more, okay, so that they can spread more over Delhi, so that they can expand their area of rule. So that is why firstly they broke the western wall of Delhi for constructing the railway line. Now let's see what happened after that. As you can see in the picture now, in Shahjahabad, Britishers constructed many construction work they did, or many buildings they have built in India. The first, as you can see in this picture, the first building belongs to the British magazine. Okay, it is the British magazine. Basically, it was the ammunition storehouse. Now you will ask, ma'am, what is ammunition? So ammunition means whatever weapon they will have. Okay, so they only used to keep their weapons or artillery, okay, here in this the British magazine. It was basically ammunition storehouse of the Britishers. It is still existing in Delhi. Okay. Now the next building that I want to explain you, as you can see in the picture, this is the Telegraph Memorial. Okay. So basically this was the telegraph office of the Britishers that was built by Britishers. This is the telegraph office. Basically the work of sending telegraph done here. Okay. Now next, as you can see here, this building belongs to the Viceregal, okay, lodge. Here Viceroy lived. Okay, so this is the place. This building was built for the residency of the Viceroy. As I have explained you that during summers they went, the Viceroy office is in Shimla. Okay, so they used to go to Shimla in summers, and in winters or in normal situations they used to live in Delhi. So this is Viceroy house in Delhi, named as Viceregal Lodge. Okay, till 1931, till 1931, the Viceroy lived here. Now you will ask after that where the Viceroy started living. So that I will explain you later. Okay. Now the next picture, as you can see, this picture or this statue is the statue of King George V. This statue is the statue of King George V of England, and this is basically built in the memory, okay, of the coronation of King George V. This statue was built in the memory of the coronation of King George V. Now you will ask, ma'am, what is coronation? When King George V became the ruler of England, so here also people celebrate that occasion in India. The Britishers celebrate it in India, and in that memory only they built this statue. Okay, so this place is basically known as the Coronation Darbar Memorial. Okay, it is the Coronation Darbar Memorial. It is also known as Coronation Park. Okay, in the memory of the coronation of King George V. Okay, now next we are going to learn about, as you can see in this picture, this is the highest point in Delhi. Okay, this point is the highest point in Delhi, and it is known as the Flagstaff Tower, the highest point in Delhi. Now why this tower is important? Because during the revolt of 1857, this is only the place where the Britishers assembled. Okay, there were the Britishers assembled against the Indians. So this Flagstaff Tower is only there when during the revolt of 1857, since it is the highest point. So the Britishers assembled here. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you. So these were the major constructions that were done by the Britishers in Delhi after the revolt of 1857. As I have explained you yesterday also, that in the beginning the capital of British India was Calcutta. Still India, Delhi is not the capital of Britishers. Before making it their capital only, they have constructed this many buildings in Delhi. Okay, now we are going to learn about schemes for the extension of walls. Now as I have explained you that Shahjahanabad was a walled city. Okay, it was a walled city. Now the Britishers wanted to expand more. That means they wanted to expand the area of Shahjahanabad. So for that it is important to break the walls. Okay, and for that purpose only they introduced many schemes. Okay, so as you can see in 1888 the British government experimented for the extension of walled city. Extension मतलब क्या हुआ? आगे बढ़ना और city को फैलाना. Okay, so they started breaking up the walls of the city, and why they wanted to extend walled city, as they were very congested. Okay, because those the walled city of Shahjahanabad was very congested, that is why Britishers wanted to extend it. Okay, they wanted to spread Shahjahanabad more, that is why they wanted to break down the walls. Okay, for that only, firstly they introduced the first scheme was the Lahore Gate Improvement Scheme. That means they firstly started from the Lahore Gate, and that scheme was planned by Robert Clark. Okay, Robert Clark planned that scheme to expand beyond the Lahore Gate. And what was the aim of that scheme? The main aim of this scheme was to draw residents away from the old city. Okay, because already Shah Jahanabad was an established city. Now Britishers also need some space in that city to make their houses. Okay, for that purpose they wanted to extend that area so that they can build their own houses there. Okay, so that is why basically they wanted to make their houses away from the old city. That is why, and if they will build it with the walls, then they will be separated from the old city. That is why they wanted to break that wall in between so that it becomes one area. Okay, to a new type market square with shops all around. They wanted to design the city again in a new model, and they wanted it that shops should be also there with the residents houses. Okay, now next we are going to see more things that they have done. Again in 1936, the Delhi Improvement Trust was set up. The British officials set up Delhi Improvement Trust, and now what that trust did, built areas like Daryaganj South for rich people. Now that particular or the British officials built many areas for the rich people. Okay, they extend and they started covering the regions that were empty. For that purpose they conquered Daryaganj South for making the place where rich people used to live. The Britishers broke down the old channels of water supplies also. Not even this, the channels of water supply like tank, the Siri was built by, okay, the Siri was built by Delhi Sultanate ruler. Or if I will talk you about the Baulis that were constructed by the rulers of India, that was totally broken by that Britishers started breaking it, and they started introducing new supply water system. Okay, they introduced a new system of surface drain also. Okay, surface drain means they started introducing new system of water drainage also. Now students, if I will talk you about that what happened to these schemes of Britishers of improvement or of extending the city of Shahjahanabad, basically it was basically they were failed in this. Okay, because since they changed the water supply or they broke up the old water supply, so the population of that place started lacking of water. Okay, there was start the people started suffering from lack of water because the population was very high. Okay, so that is why people started suffering from all this, and this scheme was not that successful that Britishers introduced for extending the city of Shah Jahanabad. Okay, now let's see the next one, shifting the capital. Now the time came when the Britishers decided to shift their capital from Calcutta to New Delhi, and it was the time of the coronation of King George V. Okay, it was the time when there was a coronation ceremony of King George V in London or in England, and that was celebrated here in India also. The Britishers celebrated the coronation of King George V in India, and for that purpose only they, okay, they planned for a darbar. Darbar means there is a party like function where all the Britishers collected and enjoyed that occasion. So that was only in 1911. So now you will the question comes that when the King George V became the ruler or became the king of England, so our answer will be 1911. In 1911, King George V was crowned in England. He became the ruler of England, with his wife Mary, Queen Mary. Okay, a darbar was held in Delhi to celebrate the occasion. As I have explained you, Britishers collected or planned a party-like ceremony to celebrate the coronation of King George V. Okay, at this darbar only, the British announced, whatever British officer was there at that time, he announced their decision to shift the capital of India from Calcutta to Delhi. Okay, they announced this to the Indians that yes, now we are going to shift the capital of India or British India from Calcutta to Delhi. So in 1911, it was announced, okay, that they will shift the capital. But after that, also Britishers were not able to shift the capital in 1911 only, because from 1914 till 1918 there was the first World War taking place all over the world. Okay, this was the time from 1914 to 1918. First World War was going on. That is why Britishers were not able to shift their capital immediately after the announcement. So we will see that when they have shifted. As you can see in the picture, that is King George V and her wife Queen Mary. Okay, now we will see New Delhi as capital. Okay, now when they make New Delhi as their capital, that we will see in 1932. It was announced in 1911, but Delhi became the capital in 1932. In 1932, New Delhi was inaugurated as the capital of British India. New Delhi was inaugurated, उसका उद्घाटन किया गया as the capital of British India. The two architects of England, okay, please remember the name. The two architects of England, Sir Edwin Newton and Sir Herbert Baker. The two architects of England, Sir Edwin Newton and Herbert Baker, planned and rebuilt the city of Delhi. Okay, they were the architect, they were only the person who designed Delhi, and they rebuilt Delhi according to the British architecture, or they have also taken some of the elements of Indian architecture style also. So basically, if you want to see the construction work of modern India in Delhi, so it is India Gate, okay, it is Rashtrapati Bhavan, it is Parliament House, okay. So all those were the construction that was done by the Britishers in India, okay. So, and if someone asks you that who designed Delhi, so the Delhi was basically designed by, if two names are asked, then it will be Sir Edwin Newton and Herbert Baker. But if only one architect was asked, so it will be Sir Edwin Newton. Okay? On his name only, Delhi was known as Newton's Delhi. On the name of Edwin Newton only, after this, Delhi started named as Newton's Delhi. Okay, now let's see how they have designed Delhi. Okay, so basically Delhi was constructed on Raisina Hill. There is Raisina Hill. Raisina पहाड़ियाँ हैं दिल्ली में. Delhi was built on Raisina Hill only. पहाड़ पे है दिल्ली. Some part of Delhi is on hills only. In the construction of New Delhi, they assert the British importance. That means when the British architects were constructing Delhi, they decided that they will show the superiority of Britishers over Indians. They will show this thing that yes, Britishers were more important than Indians. And that is why they have built the Viceroy Palace higher than Shah Jahan's Jama Masjid. Okay, they built that palace higher than Shah Jahan's Jama Masjid to show that yes, Britishers were more important. Okay, now I want you to know the features of the architecture of New Delhi. Okay, the main features only we are going to learn, that how New Delhi was built. Okay, so New Delhi, or the building of New Delhi, that was built by the two architect. Okay, so it was made up of red and cream sandstone. Which color sandstone were used? Red and cream colored sandstone were used. They have traditional dome, chhatris and jalis. As you can see, this is the dome of Rashtrapati Bhavan. In next you can see these are the jalis, and in the next picture these are the chhatris, that is having every every building that was constructed, basically they were having these features. So they used traditional dome, chhatris and jalis also. We have learned about all these structure in medieval period also. Okay, now let's see the next one. If I will talk you about or explain you about the Rashtrapati Bhavan, it was also known as Viceroy's Lodge. As I have explained you that the Viceroy regal, that I was explaining about Viceroy's regal na, that I told you that earlier British Viceroy lived there up to 1632 only. Okay, after that he shifted to this place. Wait for a minute, what I have said 1632 nahi, the British Viceroy lived there up to 1931 only. Okay, after that they started living in Rashtrapati Bhavan. Rashtrapati Bhavan was the star building of the British architecture. Okay, it was a very famous building of the British architecture. It was built in the center of the Raisina Hill, and if I will show you the picture abhi. The north and south blocks, that was Rashtrapati Bhavan is in middle, and left and right is north and south block. Those both blocks are exactly each other. You will say that they looks like mirror images of each other. Okay, now the King's Way, in English it was known as King's Way, but now it is known as Rajpath. Rajpath means Raja ke jane ka rasta. Okay, Rajpath, as you have, it is very famous place on 26th January or 15th August. The rallies that we see na, that we see on Rajpath only. Rajpath connected India Gate to Rashtrapati Bhavan. Okay, Rajpath only connected India Gate to Rashtrapati Bhavan. In the first picture, as you can see, this is the picture of Rashtrapati Bhavan. It is the Rashtrapati Bhavan, Viceroy's house. The next picture is of north and south block. As you can see, both the blocks exactly look like each other. So it is to be said that both the blocks are mirror images of each other. So this is only the north and south block. Now the next picture belongs to the Rajpath. As you can see, it is moving from India Gate, okay, and it connected to the Rashtrapati Bhavan. So this is only the Rajpath, where it was the road from where the king used to go to the places. Okay. Next picture, as you can see, this is India Gate. India Gate was also a very important construction done by the Britishers in India. If I'll now, have you ever imagined that maybe you all are knowing also that why was India Gate built? So India Gate was built in the memory of the Indian soldiers, okay, the British Army or the soldiers of India, those who were participated in the First World War. Indian soldiers have also participated in the First World War. They were with the side of Britishers because they were in the British Army, so they fought with the Britishers. Now it was originally, now it is known as India Gate, but it was originally known as All India War Memorial. Okay, it was originally known as All India War Memorial. That means in the memory of the war. Name of 90,000 soldiers are inscribed on it. On the walls of this, named of 90,000 soldiers are inscribed. Okay, those who were died during the First World War. Now, as you can see, this is the picture of Parliament House. All of you are knowing about Parliament House. To the left of Rashtrapati Bhavan, and Parliament House is to the left of Rashtrapati Bhavan, lies the Council Chamber. And earlier it was known as Council Chamber, where the member of the Council of British government used to sit, which is a circular structure. It is a circular goal hai pura Parliament House. Next picture is of, as you can see, this is Connaught Place. I hope it is also all of you are very well familiar. This is the heart of Delhi. Connaught Place is known for shopping shops or shopping malls, okay, or people used to go basically here for the purpose of shopping. This is today also it is existing in there. At the center of the city is the Connaught Place, a commercial and business center in circular shape. This is also built in circular shape, and it is basically a commercial place where now the people used to go for shopping. Earlier also it was a commercial area only. So I hope Delhi is clear to you. All these are the feature of New Delhi. Okay, the two architect of British India, that is Luton and Herbert. Okay, they only built Delhi. So I hope this chapter is clear to you. This chapter is over now. Okay, so thank you students.